Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So a couple days ago I did a video updating my channel, and I'd said that I was sick and I got better. Well, I feel better, but my voice got worse. So I thought I was out of the woods when I clearly was not. So I had to push things back a little bit. So I thought I'd have some fun, and as a makeup over the next couple of days, I'm going to give you guys some fun little casual 60 card kitchen table deck decks. This is the current, and actually it's a little out of date because I never added some Liliana's Mastery to this. This is my 60 card kitchen table zombie deck. It's the oldest deck I have. This thing's roots go back to Apocalypse, when a classmate of mine who was getting out of the game literally gave it to me. Kid named Wayne Hewitt, shout out to him if he's out there listening. These go back to, these are some of the first Odyssey lands I ever cracked. So this is just a fun little casual. I've taken it to casual tournaments, just fun nights for F&Ms over the years, and it's still here. This, like I said, this is the oldest deck I have. It's gone through a ton of changes. There's still some familiar faces. It was a lot more powerful before I got into EDH because I had it really souped up then, but then I needed copies of, Lord of the Undead for this deck and all my grave crawlers, for this deck, that deck, a lot of my decks run grave crawlers. So, if you wonder why there aren't 4 copies of certain things, that's why. Just because, I needed so many of them for my EDH decks. And I'm more or less almost exclusively an EDH player, but I'll bring out my 60 cards sometime. Because a lot of my older friends, they haven't jumped on the EDH bandwagon yet, so I'll still pull out 60 card, from time to time. 7, 8, 9, yep. Just like I thought. Mana base, again, because I needed them for a ton of other decks, I took out all my Cabal coffers. This used to run 4 coffers. But right now, again, I've taken a very kitchen table approach to this thing. So, 20 basic swamps. 1 Planeswalker, Liliana Death's Majesty, a fun little top curve who gives me tokens. So, evolution of the 1-drop. The original 1-drops for these were Putrid Imps when I got a hold of the deck and started tooling around with it. I played it. Originally, it was actually a Golgari zombie deck. It had like 4 Liliana Deads. Had that green pump spell that you could add a black to from Apocalypse. It had a lot of weird things. It had some zombie cannibals from Odyssey I tried to throw in there to lower the curve, but it was an interesting deck. But really, the first stuff I really tried to throw in there was when Torment came out, Putrid Imps. Eventually, Putrid Imps were replaced by Festering Goblins, and I love Festering Goblins. They were just nice. When they died, they would hit something for -1/-1 until end of turn. Well, then Amonkhet happened years down the road. I was reminded of Festering Goblin, and these are -1/-1 counters. So these can do a little bit more damage. So I had to have a full play set of those. So unfortunately, after many years of loyal service, Festering Goblin was taken out of the deck. Now, the newest addition to this deck, amazing because I don't even have Mastery in here, and I should. 4 Champion of the Parish. Cracked all, 2 of these in my various openings, and these 2 are promos. I said, for casual, I gotta see how 4 of these work. Just fun. The curve of this deck is very low, so that just makes it so much easier to pull these things out. I love them. Grave Crawlers, 2 of these. Again, it's because most of my Grave Crawlers are doing time in various EDH decks. So, Shambling Ghoul. I actually really like the idea of a 2/3 for 2. even if it comes into play tapped. This deck is kind of aggressive. Again, this is very low curve. Low curve is one of the reasons that, I have, like, that casual card in there. Cemetery Reaper, again, I have more. Most of them are pulling zombie deck duties in EDH. Lord of the Accursed, I took out all my Lord of the Undeads. So I might actually add a different Lord or something like that. But, these guys stood in for these. So I realized way too late that I didn't actually have 4 of these in here. I added 4 and then same verse, same as the first verse, same as the first. These went to EDH decks. Still have 2 in here. The 2 life even in 20 life games isn't that bad. So I advocate for Murderous Riders, because this thing is basically better than Murder. It's Hero's Downfall with a bit of life loss. So, if I have 2 more spare Hero's Downfall, I'll get rid of these Murder. Or if I ever get around to it, I'll just swap out 2 more Murderous Rider. I like it because, I get the spell, and then this just kind of hangs out in limbo until I need it. Extra spell in hand. I'm not sure about a lot of these kind of mechanics from recent sets. I didn't like a lot of the Strixhaven stuff, but I really think Adventure has potential for the future. Some All-Stars. Some OGs for me. I added these. Early on in my zombie deck days, I tried to kill things and load them up in my graveyard so I could use like Organ Grinders, which are a 3-drop from Torment that tap 3, removes some cards from your graveyard. Opponent loses 3 life. So there were a lot of zombie cards that were meant to hit the deck and die, but this is one of the few genuine utility zombies I had. I had another one, again, my 4th went into an EDH deck. I didn't replace it. I think I replaced it with another rider. But, I don't have the smooth 4 playset of everything that this deck used to because of my commander addiction. Grave Defiler. There's one thing this very low mana curve lets me do. It lets me hit bank off of these. If my curve was higher, I'd run less. But the idea I can get so many 1-drops and 2-drops, the fact this is a 4-mana card, it works. Low curve like this thing is really the accelerant that powers this thing. Back when this ran full 4 coffers, running a couple of these per turn, hitting one, getting another one, hitting that one, like it could get insane. I loved it. If I ever get a bigger budget, if I ever really this YouTube thing starts taking off, I might invest in beefing this deck up into what it once was. Again, Lord of the Undeads, more Grave Crawlers, bringing Cabal Coffers back. Lord of the Undead. Oh boy, these things. Why don't I add a 4th? I guess I just like having my curve low, but low cost, high pump. Love these things. It's a Time Spire one. Onslaught, Legions, and Scourge were literally my alley. I would love to see them. I would love to see them actually take the risk and do another Legions, an all creatures set. In casual, these things are monstrous. The Soulless one. The thing I really love about these guys is just that they count for everything in the graveyard as well. So, this coming after a board wipe can just be so freaking mean. Someone board wipes and I cast this, so everything you just destroyed at least counts towards this thing's power and toughness. I love them. They're probably not as good as I think they are, but I've won so many games over the years with just massive ones of these, especially, these plus the Swamp Walk of Zombie Trailblazer is more or less my win con, oftentimes with this deck. Gary, I need to get more Gary. Because, man, this is one of my favorite zombies. Mono black deck, drain life effects are huge with me, and this is just the perfect drain life effect. Zombie decks, I love board states. This doesn't really produce a lot of tokens, so, everything I have is guaranteed to count towards my devotion. actually considering taking out like a murder for a third Gary. I almost want to run 4 of these guys. This is casual. This is my original top curve monster. I just have an obsession with stealing things from the graveyard, whether it's mine or someone else's. And just the number of zombies I can get onto the board, Gravespawn Sovereign actually becomes really feasible. More feasible than you'd think. My land / Crypt of Agadim. Again, you know, I just like stealing stuff. Totally a casual card I might replace with another Sovereign. Gotta see if I have a spare Gary around here. And 3 Gem Palms. You know, yeah, cycling is hard to counter, especially if we're leaving Commander and just doing kitchen table casual, where people wouldn't think to do this. This plus Gary in my EDH decks with a lot of recursion can be powerful, and even here, this can be a great closer. I love these things. I will swear by them. So, you know, not hyper-tuned. Again, unfortunately, my obsession with becoming a Commander player really hurt this deck when, you know, all the greats had 4 ofs, 4 Grave Titan. Grave Titan was originally replaced most of the Sovereigns. When I took them out, I put Sovereign back in, put Crypt of Agadim back in. Like, this thing was a wagon when I was not into EDH, and this thing had 4 ofs. I actually didn't have these. I had Dark Rituals to just accelerate things, you know, Cabal Coffers. Kind of makes me sad because I'm like, I show you guys, this isn't a bad fun, this is a fun deck. This is still a very fun deck. But it's like, every time I look at it, I think of what it was versus what I'm presenting to you guys here. You know, it was a nasty little deck. By far my favorite to play. I've never been a heavy spells guy. I've always been about creatures and board state. I think if you've seen enough of my deck techs, you'll see by these sheer amount of creatures, you know. Come here. Again, down the line, if I ever have some spare cash, I might actually do something like that. Beef this thing back up. Or for a special occasion, I'll put all of my zombie decks in dry dock and I'll just soup this thing back up to its original form. Do a deck tech on that, just show you, and then I'll go to my friend Drew and I'll beat the living hell out of him. But for now, it gets the job done, and it's still fun. You know, that's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's still fun. I apologize for my voice. Like I said, I was getting better, and then my voice just took a downturn. I feel fine, but still. Tomorrow, this will be a fun little comparison. So, I've mentioned a couple times I played Magic Duels back in the day. And with Magic Duels, I got into strategies I normally wouldn't really be that into. But I'll be honest. I'll be real honest. I heavily got into, through Magic Duels, Emerge. And so I always had an argument with myself. You know, for 60 card decks, did I want to go Golgari or Dimir? Or Golgari or Simic? You know, because there are some mean cards. And some of my favorite cards were actually blue-green. So, figure tomorrow I'll do a video showing off these two side by side, going over what I liked about, and I think given the fact that we're in the middle of an Innistrad block, I think it'd be fun to do an Emerge kind of review. That'd be fun to bring that back, but they said there's no Eldrazi this time around. Maybe the next Zendikar will bring back Emerge, but just something to look forward to for tomorrow. Again, I wanted to do way more on my vacation, but my voice had other plans. So, thank you guys for joining me. Again, a little kitchen table, casual zombie deck, but it's fun. Maybe it'll give you guys ideas for fun little stuff to break out with your more casual group. So again, thank you for joining me. Hope to make more videos out soon, and I have 3 other EDH deck techs planned. I have Snakes. I have Phoenix Mill coming out. Phoenix Mill. I need to find. I'm missing a Bajuka Bog. It's weird. I can't find the Bajuka Bog that goes in that deck. So I was actually going to film that one now, but I want to give my voice a little bit of a break, do a quicker video. But yeah, it's missing a land. Got to figure out what happened to that. So that's coming out. Again, my Golgari Snake deck. That's going to come out probably Friday. And then, again, Halloween, I'm going to do my Rakdos deck. My third of my favorite decks. It's my Kalia deck, it's my Mono Black Zombie deck, and then my Rakdos deck. Those are probably my 3 most priority decks. So, stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and see you next time, guys. And hope you guys are enjoying Halloween out there. It's my favorite time of year, so I'm really psyched. Bye.